Modern geology and environmental earth sciences are really interdisciplinary fields. And in our department, we investigate this from the ground up, from the bedrock. That includes also the hydrosphere, the biosphere where we live, and also the atmosphere. And that's particularly important because we're changing our climate so significantly by what we're putting into the atmosphere.
So the cool thing about being a geologist is that you have all the tools that you need to look back in time and understand how things like the climate have changed, and use that information to understand how maybe the Antarctic or Greenland ice sheets may respond to climate warming in the future. But it's not just things like glaciers that we can look at in the past. We can also look at things deep in the earth and understand how it can sculpt our surface today.
That everything that humans are interested in the natural world, in terms of preservation, exploration, management, is connected to the solid earth in some way.
So one of the things I really love about my research is the opportunity to spend a lot of time outside doing field geology, both in places like here in Vermont and around New England, but also in places sort of far-flung like Mongolia and Papua New Guinea. So there's a real satisfying outdoor component to the work, but then we bring samples home to the lab, and then there's the technical and analytical side.
To look at the mechanisms of interaction between us and the humans. How do we impact our planet? How is our planet impacting us? Geology, Earth science, is not only about us, and we can go out in the sky, in space, and look at the same mechanisms on other planets.
In our department, we do a lot of research that links observations of the solid earth to the environmental issues that we face as a society today. And that includes climate change, that includes water quality issues, that includes earth hazards.
Did you know that ancient earthquakes are preserved in the rock record? This black material is glass that was produced by friction during an earthquake. We can actually pull this out and date it and find out when that earthquake happened.
And we speak out on these issues, for example, in TV or radio interviews, to really make sure that the general public also knows what our findings are.
So in geoscience, we teach our students a whole lot of transferable skills that are going to be useful to them, whether they go into industry, academia, or consulting. They learn how to gather data in the field, they learn how to reduce data, they learn how to write reports, and they learn how to present their findings to the public and to specialist audiences. So our students, they learn all kinds of things in the geology department that lets them go out and get jobs.
The other great thing about being a geology major is that it's actually a really rigorous science. So your job as a geologist is to observe the world around you and collect data and then quantitatively understand what it all means together. You're going to be a really well-trained scientist, and employers will understand that and see that. So my favorite thing about this department is that it's actually a very tight-knit community, and there are professors that we work very closely together. We all work on projects together. We know our students really well in this department.
My favorite thing about this department is probably how easy it is to communicate with all of the professors.
I love how helpful everyone is.
I really like how open the faculty are, just for me to stop by.
I just love the small, homey feel of the geology department. You kind of, once you start spending time here, you get to know everyone, and it really feels like a home where you can learn about awesome stuff.
I think my favorite thing about the department is the sense of community.
I really love it because you go outside, your labs are field trips. I also found the geology department a little too late. As a sophomore, I made it my minor instead of my major. Totally regret it. Wish I was a geology major because the department is just so great.
And we're lucky to be right in Burlington, which has many of its own perks. The lake and the mountains. We're surrounded.